Greetings. I know you're probably interested, like we all are, in how we have our global villages and our transition towns begin to feed themselves again. We ran across some really interesting data in our town, and I want to tell you a little story about that. This is Jim Channon from the Bioport, and this is a piece of social architecture. We discovered by a survey in our town of 6,000 people that of all the things that were grown, and by the way, there were 80 different kinds of foods grown here, that only 1% of them ended up in our markets, our supermarkets, our restaurants, and we couldn't believe our ears. Over the years, since big government and manufacturing and business agro has taken over the scene, we have products manufactured in large commodities from big farms distributed to supermarkets and around the place, and that is the Greenstream. That is where the good stuff moves, and it all moves in boxes and packages and cellophane and whatnot and wrapping and ink. And we all know we got to change that. It's not we want big ag to go out of business. We don't. We just want to share. We want it to be 50-50. So in our town, we're looking at what we call the Greenstream, or what I will call the Greenstream. And that is to have the information about our natural resources, our local production of food, our infrastructure for food, completely transparent to all the players in the local environment. And that is not only information about the products, but delivery times, qualities, amounts, who's shipping to whom, who's distributing to whom, etc. Now, this huge gap that we're looking at between the farm production and the 1% that gets into our consumption areas, our restaurants and supermarkets, is easy to solve at the home level. So if you have an extended ag family of 10 or 12 people and they all cook and grow together, there's not much of a gap in that loop. You do have the Greenstream working really nicely at that level, but when you look at the level of the larger farmers and the larger vendors, it's pathetic. So yesterday I witnessed an amazing community event run by a friend of mine, Bob Martin, and his wife Karen Rosen, and a great facilitator team of Andrea Dean and Forrest Arnold, and a local shaman by the name of David Fuertes, who came up with the idea that we ought to be able to eat at least half of our food from local sources. Created a workshop whereby at the end of the workshop, after being informed about all the data, they had people identify something they were interested in. Other people then collect around those people who had a similar interest and build little action teams to go off and work on pieces of this bigger problem. So be aware that the playing field that we sort of came up with, if you start with a place of your awareness needs to include natural resources. We had cattle, goats, the finishing of same, wild pigs, ocean life, grass, the water source, turkeys, our slope, our soils, our ponds, our forests, as something we needed to have a lot more basic information about. We have actually forests right now of kiawe, or mesquite, which produce beans. But we're just not in the habit of eating those beans. And that's true with a lot of interesting things, like the turkeys that fly around here and whatnot. So we had to get in touch again with our natural resources. We find that our public awareness about where food is in the neighborhood in eating locally is very low. They don't know as much about foraging as they'd like to. They don't know as much about bartering as they need. They don't know they could revise their diet towards all vegetables, for example, for a while, and eliminate all the packaging. They don't know the local distribution, and their general green awareness, they have interest in being aware in a green way, but it's not at the level it needs to be. So then by bringing that public awareness up, the demand for local produce like taro, corn, sweet potatoes, pineapple, bamboo cheese, you can read these, goes way up. And when that demand goes way up, then the people with the commercial kitchens, dehydrators, sawmill, refrigeration, co-op, ag park, all these infrastructure guys can come on board because they know there's actually enough business to keep them active as these producers package their food both for value-added export, but to bring back into the community. And now we have the local restaurateurs, supermarkets, and others telling the producers and the packagers what they need and what level of control of the information and quality and dependability of the delivery they want. We're putting this all back together at the local village level with what we call the Greenstream. And that is bringing the loop of awareness and communications, delivery and quality all back into a tight, fully activated loop in and near the small part of the bioregion where we have all this. And obviously with the new web-based systems, this whole idea of knowing where everything it is and knowing who wants what is, well, it's really easy to handle with a website. So that's where we're going next. Now, happy discoveries.